You join me today as we have hit what can only be described as a very bad run of form. 7 games without a win, and in those 7 games, we've only managed to score 1 goal. Hello and welcome to episode 97 of To Be a Legend. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have 2 games for you, both in the Championship match days 38 and 39 against Peterborough away from home and Brighton and Hove Albion at home. Not an easy task, bearing in mind that we've lost the last, well, not lost, but we haven't won in 7 games. We have lost the last however many, but we've not won in 7 games. We've scored 1 goal in that time, and we are on probably one of the worst runs that we've had in this series to date. We've hit some rough spots through the series, but we're really in it today. And all I can say is we're going to be struggling, as it currently stands, to even achieve the heights of last season, which was an 8th place finish on 75 points. We were looking very, very good, looking for, certainly as if we were digging in for a playoff place up until the start of this very poor run. And I guess it's got to end sometime. But the question is it going to end before, A, the end of the season that we're currently playing, or the end of the series? That is the question, because both have not got a lot of time to go. Let's have a look and see what's been happening since you were last with us. But before we do that, don't forget, if you enjoyed today's episode, you've enjoyed this series, let me know by giving me that big thumbs up, subscribing and hitting the notification button. It all helps me here on YouTube. And as an added bonus, if you are thinking of buying FM24 and you haven't purchased it yet, it's out on the 6th of November. But if you pre-purchase it before the release of the... in fact, I think before the 6th of November, you can play the beta version when it comes out. And they're reckoning on about 2 weeks before. That's how it usually happens, which is the weekend of the 20th, which is ideal if you've got time off at half term. But also, it does also mean that you get access to it and all the rest of it as and when that beta is up and running. It could be as early as this Friday, so they're saying in certain quarters. But whether that's the case or not, don't quote me on that. The other thing to mention is there is down below a link to go to Fanatical to get it cheaper than you can buy it on Steam and Epic. And if you put the code in that's down there as well, you save yourself a little bit more money, and it all helps the channel as well. So if you do that for me, a very, very big thank you. Thank you very, very much. Right. Without any more to do, let's have a look and see what's been happening since you were last with us. We've played 3 games. Norwich and Portsmouth. Last time out, FA Cup 5th round, a 2-0 loss to Norwich. And then we played Portsmouth, managed to get a draw against Portsmouth. Aaron Ramsey scoring our last goal. In fact, our only goal in the last 7, as I said earlier. Since then, we've lost 3-0 to West Brom. That was a pretty dour match. A 2-0 loss to Derby County and a 1-0 loss to Nottingham Forest. The only consolation that I can take with that is we've gone 3-2-1. I'm hoping that Peterborough, at the very least, will be a draw, and that we might then start to get ourselves back on to track against Brighton. Both of those are not going to be easy matches. As we know, we're not good against sides. I mean, they're 17th and 12th, and both below us. They should be at least able to pick points up off them. Peterborough away from home, a draw would be acceptable. At home against Brighton, we should be beating them. And then we've got Sunderland, who are top of the table at the moment, look like they're going to get promoted. But we'll come to that in a moment. So what we will be doing, Peterborough and Brighton today then, and then we're going to come back for, I'm not quite sure which way. We ought to see Sunderland, really. Sunderland and Middlesbrough, both in that northeast enclave. Might come back quick and have Sunderland and Middlesbrough, and then we'll play 3 games offline and come back for the final games of the season. Bristol City and Watford, which should take us, hopefully, very nicely into the beta version, unless it's released this Friday, the beta version of FM24. And we'll obviously do a wrap-up episode, which theoretically could be episode 100, which would turn out rather nicely. Not that I ever planned it to be like that, of course. So Peterborough and Brighton today then. We'll have a closer look at them in a moment. But just to update you on the how the Championship looks at this stage in time, as I said, Sunderland now 8 points clear at the top of the table from Reading in third place. Nottingham Forest are tucked in behind them, just 2 points behind them, in fact, on 79 points. Then came West Brom fourth on 72. Sheffield United fifth on 67. Bristol City are sixth on 66 points. Then comes Stoke on 63. Southampton on 61. And then ourselves on 60. And we've been on 60 for quite a while now, and it's time that we started to turn the corner. 75 points was what we got last season, which means that we theoretically have to win at least 5 of our remaining games, which is a bit of a tall order considering the form that we're in. 5 games on the run in to achieve what we did last year, and who knows where we'll propel ourselves. There's still a chance of the playoffs. I mean, at the moment we are 6 points adrift of it, and our form is abysmal. Our form is relegation form, really. When you look at down here, we've lost 4 of our last 5, drawn the other one, pretty much as Ipswich have been doing. So even Queen's Park and Rangers and Portsmouth are playing better than us at the moment. So we really do need to turn this around if we can. We're trying all sorts. Whether it's a case of sticking to the formation and just hoping that it will work itself out, or what, I don't know. They're losing a little bit of morale as well as we go. As you see, the dynamics, team cohesion is very good. Atmosphere is average, probably could be a bit better, and it'll be the recent form that isn't helping. Managerial support is very good. I don't think we've got a lot wrong with the team. We're not like a Brentford save, where it's all very, very sort of like skullduggery going on behind the scenes. So we've had a team meeting. We've said to the guys, look, and they've admitted it's down to them to turn this around. But Burstow seems to have gone off. He's not scoring goals now. I don't know. I think we need a little bit of luck as well. So we'll see what we can do just to buoy ourselves up. Right, let's get on with it then. Let's get in and see if we can turn or get a green spot on here somewhere. Would be rather nice, wouldn't it? Peterborough first up then. We do have a fairly clean bill of health, actually, as it stands at the moment. Limar Gordon and Tegan Pellin, they are both due back in over the next couple of days. And as it is, we're 4 days away from this next game. So, obviously, both those players, I think, might be a bit too early to have them back. But the good news also is that we've also managed to get back. Coming back is Callum. Where are you? Dara Costello. That's who it was. Dara Costello. He's coming back from injury, as we know. He's had a lot of injuries lately. And that hasn't helped our season, I don't think. And we seem to have gone off the rails since he's been out of the team as well. Right. Past meetings against Peterborough. We've played them in League One. We drew 1-1 with them at our place. We lost 3-0 at the Western Home Stadium in Peterborough. Last time we played Peterborough was earlier this season, right at the early part of the season, to be fair. And we did beat them 2-0 on that occasion. Mason Burstow and that man I've just mentioned, Dara Costello, getting the goals. And we obviously kept them out on that occasion. Whether we could do the same today at their place is another question altogether. Let's go and have a look at the team that will face Peterborough. Well, I'm bad. I didn't tell you about the free transfer that we had in during the 3 games that you weren't with us. We did off camera. We've brought in Brian Maher, who had been on trial with us. He is a goalkeeper. He is 27 years old. He's 3.5 stars current ability, 4 stars potential ability. And when you see him up against Cartwright and Xander Clark, there's no competition, really. The only thing to say is that we brought him in to try and stop conceding these goals, but we don't seem to. Well, we seem to slow down a little bit, but we still have a little bit of a problem. We've seen a bit of a tweak to our system, and hopefully today we can reap the rewards. But Brian Wher, he's in. He's signed for us. He's in until 2030, so for 2 seasons, basically. We've got him in, and we'll see whether he can make a difference or not. He has played 2 games already, conceded 3 goals, but as I say, that has been improving somewhat. So let's go and have a look at the team then that will face Peterborough. And here is the side that will face Peterborough in this championship, match day 38. And it's Wher in goal. First time you'll have seen him. Tomlinson, Bridge, Jackson and Mumba are the defensive line. Wher is the defensive midfielder. Ramsey and McCann sit in front of him, with Costello making his return, hopefully not picking up any more injuries. Can only play for 45 minutes though. Abu on the right-hand side. Lemar Gordon leads the attack up front because none of the others are firing on all cylinders. We'll see how he does up front. On the bench, Cartwright, Sass Davis, Joe Lewis, Burrows, Cooper, May and Burstow. And so here's confirmation of the 2 teams. Peterborough United playing a 4-2-3-1. And we're playing a 4-3-3 or 4-1-2-2-1, whichever way you look at it. Peterborough currently in 17th with 44 points. We're 9th with 60 points. Confirmation of the 2 teams for you. First highlight, and it's a highlight to Peterborough. Colkey, Coventry. And through, and it's come off the woodwork. I thought that was going in the back of the net. They have a corner now. Coventry with the corner. It's an in-swinger. Swung in. It's headed clear by Costello, but only as far as Coventry, and he's back into the area. Has a go. It's gone over the top or off the woodwork, one of the 2. And half-time comes. No more highlights. We've gone a whole half without conceding. That's something, I suppose. It's a shot in the right direction. Very weird and wonderful, I know. We've had 4 shots, none on target, 0.17 on the XG, 53% of the possession. They've had 3 shots, nothing on target. It's going to be a bit of a boring game. 0.41, 47% of the possession. Yeah. First highlight of the second half. Bridge with a throw into Wher. Trying to get that through to McCann, and he failed. And that's the sort of mistake that leads to goals and has paid us dearly before, and let's hope it's not again. It's not looking good, is it? Crossed into the area. Oh, it's 2 bites of the cherry. It's cleared though, but not as far as we want. It's still there. Highlight Coventry with a... it's gone over the top. Saw the net ripple. They have a corner. It's all Peterborough at the moment. It's come back off the post. They've been very unlucky. With 60 minutes on the clock, we're going to make 2 changes. Dara Costello, who was only supposed to play 45 minutes. We don't want him injured. We've taken him off and brought on Harrison Burrows out on that left-hand side. We could have moved Ramsey into that position, possibly. We'll see. We might still change it around a little bit. And we've also taken off Lemar Gordon, also coming back from injury. Mason Burstow takes up his position in attack. And with 77 minutes on the clock, very nearly, we're going to make our other 3 changes at this juncture of time. Lewis Jackson has come off. He's been replaced by Joe Lewis. We've taken off Joe Tomlinson, who's not having a good day at all in that thing. We've moved Burrows back. Ramsey has gone into that left midfield. We just need to check whether he's inside forward or not. We've brought on Aaron Cooper, who's been coming through the under-18s and makes another foray into the senior squad. And our final change has been Charlie McCann, who was getting tired, has been replaced by Adam May. And we have a corner late in the game. Burrows with the corner. It's going to be an in-swinger. Can we get something at the death here? 3rd minute of extra time. It's swung in. It's gone over the top from Joe Lewis. And hopefully they're not going to punish us for those miss. Oh, Mumba's tripped the man. He's going to get a red card. Oh, no, it's a yellow. He's survived. And it's a free kick from there. Toth swings it in. Bridge has it clear. And Knight fires it over the top. It's almost at the death. And I think this could be the last bit. Wher is winding down the clock. And it's all over. We've managed to get a 0-0 draw and pick up a point on the road, as I prescribed. But the downside of it is we've gone to plummeted to the depths of low. Is all I can say. Is we've gone 9 shots. We've not hit the target, and we're not going to win games if we don't hit the target. That is a low by anybody's chalk. A very, very dismal day. No shots on target. 0.50 on the XG. 52% of the possession. We did have 9 shots, but we need to put them on target. Peterborough had 12 shots, 4 on target, 1.26. 48% of the possession. I'll take the point. Thank you very much. Well, there we are. We are still in 9th place, having played 38 games. 61 points, just behind Southampton on goal difference, who are in 8th place. Bristol City must have lost today. Have they not played? I don't think they've played, actually, which is why they're where they are. So we're 5 points behind them now. Don't have a game in hand any longer. Yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, I just think we're just going to keep motoring. We can't get relegated. We just got to try and turn this around and pick up a little bit of a bit of form towards the end of the season. That's still my hope. Well, we seem to be setting records at the moment. Apart from setting a new club record for the worst run without a win, we've also set a new record for the worst discipline in the Sky Bet Championship. Having collected 109 yellow cards and 6 red cards. A record previously was 120 yellow cards and 2 reds, also set by ourselves. So 10 days has gone by in game time, and there isn't really anything much to report other than the things we've already told you about. So it is the Championship match day 39 against Brighton then. We have played them previously just the once earlier in this season in the Championship because they came down from the Premier League. It was a 2-0 win on that occasion. Jake and Joe Lewis, the scorers. Jake from the penalty spot after 5 minutes. Joe Lewis after 42. And we got a 2-0 win on that occasion. We have changed formation today. Let's go and have a look at the team that will face Brighton. And this is the team that will face Brighton in this Championship match day 39. And as you'll see, we've gone to a pretty standard 4-4-2. Direct counter-attack. Wher is in goal. Scanlon, Jake Lewis, Jackson and Joe Lewis are our defensive line. Ramsey, Mundell, May and Wher in midfield. Pelling and Burstow up front with Cartwright, Sass Davis, Adofin, Ubu, Tomlinson, Richards and Gordon on the bench. And so this is how the two sides face up. 4-4-2 for us today. As I say, we've got nothing to lose. We're in such poor form. Anything is worth a try. They are playing a 4-3-3 formation. Brighton Hove Albion currently 12th on 54. We are 9th on 61. Confirmation of the two teams for you. First highlight is just 2.5 minutes in. It's a free kick. It's headed on, but nobody there. And they're trying to get through the lines, but it's well cut out by Jackson. Wher pumps one forward. Pelling tries to get underneath it. And through the lines. Careful. Cut that out. Well defended. Highlights continuing for a reason, I'm guessing. But what that reason is, we're just about to find out. Camelo scores for Brighton. And we go a goal down after 4 minutes. Same old, same old. I just don't think we've got the quality of the players, to be fair. And Brighton are at it again as they come forward. Try to cut that out. And Joe Lewis sort of like didn't come away with that ball. And it's gone over the top. It's gone for a corner, in fact. Must have come off of somebody. This is an outswinger from Arana. Swung out. Burstow gets there. Doing his defensive work today. He's got a block. And offside, I think. No more highlights as we get to half-time. They've had 8 shots, 5 on target, 0.85. 68% of the possession. This isn't a possession-based tactic, really. We've had 3 shots, 2 on target, 0.24 on the XG, 32% of the possession. Yeah, I'm not absolutely convinced it's working, but we'll stick with it for now. And our first highlight of this second half, 60 minutes in, Jake Lewis. Burstow to Mundell. Pelling. Pelling is into the area, has a shot. It's come back. It's flopping around. 67 minutes on the clock. Wher, long ball, looking for Pelling. Burstow is not going to get there. Burstow's coming off very shortly. He's tired out. He's been on international duty and played a couple of games for Jamaica. Long ball, but Joe Lewis is there to cut it out. Joe Lewis punts it forward again. Burstow heads it down to Wher. Wher looking for Pelling. Pelling hanging off. And Pelling puts it away. His first goal of the season. And Tegan Pelling has put us back on level terms. But it's offside. Oh, he held back. It's questionable. That is questionable. And with 68 minutes on the clock, we're making a couple more, 3 changes, in fact. Mason Burstow, as I said, he was coming off. He's tired, been on international duty. He's replaced by Lamar Gordon up front. Romain Mundell has come off. We've had a bit of a jiggle around. Taylor Richards replaces him, but he's gone out on the right. McLean Wher comes inside into that central midfield. May moving up into the Mazzala role. And Abu moving over to... he's come on the left-hand side, replacing Aaron Ramsey as a winger. And with 82 minutes on the clock, making our final 2 changes, we have brought on Tomlinson, has replaced Callum Scanlon, who's very frustrated, in danger of being booked. And we don't want that to happen. And we have also replaced McLean Wher in that midfield position. He's had a good game in there, but we've replaced him with Hakeem Adofin. Well, the 4-4-2 hasn't borne any fruit. It's all over. We were playing against a ex-Premier League side, and we've lost again. They had 13 shots, 6 on target, 1.21, 66% of possession. We had 7 shots, 4 on target, 0.63, 34% of the possession. I really don't know what to say. We are, whatever formation we try, doesn't seem to want to work out for us, does it? Well, we don't slip any further down the table at this time. We stay in 9th place, but the teams above us are slowly gathering pace and moving away from us. And every game that we don't pick up points, we're getting further and further away with any opportunity of getting into the playoffs. Not that I think it want to do, but I mean, ideally, we still want to try and focus on finishing either 8th or 7th, so we finish as well as we did last season, or one better. But at the moment, unless our fortune changes, it ain't going to happen. Well, I guess you could say that we were unlucky not to get a draw out of that match. I was convinced that that was a goal from Pelling. He wasn't offside. I need to go and have a look at it again, but I'm not convinced that that was as it was, and I think we should have at least got a draw out of that. So very, very disappointing. And this little run here is not getting any better. It doesn't look any better. It doesn't feel any better. And just to make things a little bit more edgy, we've got Sunderland up next. And they're top of the table. Mind you, that's just the game that will go and win. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It's been a bit dour, isn't it? It's been dour playing offline as well. We're in a bit of a state and I'm not sure what to do about it. If you've got any ideas, please put them down in the comments below. If you think I can see what I'm not seeing, and maybe we can turn this about. If you have enjoyed today's episode, though, please leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of To Be a Legend, our other series, which is going out currently. And not doing any better in either Project Turnaround and, of course, FM24 just down the road. We're within a couple of weeks now. As I said, might even be a beta release around this coming weekend. So we're motoring towards the end of this series in FM23. And I'd like to go out with a little bit of a bang, if nothing else. The best way to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideToo. And if you want to buy yourself a copy of FM24 and you haven't bought it yet, down in the description below is a link to Fanatical. There's also a discount code. You get some money off buying it as if you would do if in Stream or, Steam or Epic. Let's get it right. And you help the channel at the same time. New episodes To Be a Legend are released every Monday and Thursday, for now anyway, at 4:15 p.m. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 98 and it's out on Thursday. Until then, I wish you a good week. Bye-bye.